What is good, guys? Charles from Team COG coming at you guys here with another vlog. Now, with that being said, I know these are not the most popular videos on my channel. However, I love doing them, and I believe they bring a lot more insight to, like, you know, just the daily lives and stuff like that. Like, sometimes people are interested in that type of stuff. But anyway, guys, so today is Friday. We are going to locals tonight because next weekend is the Ghost tournament that a lot of people from all over are flying in. So we're going to get some last minute testing in. And I'm going to be testing the power tool, the Draccosack variant. I'm mixing them up. The double power tool Draccosack variant. I tried it a long time ago. I didn't really like how much of the extra deck it used. However, with the upcoming meta and just all that type of stuff, I wanted to test it and try it again. So with that being said, we are going to take it. I am going to try and show you guys a profile at the very end of this video. Kind of a brief one, then we'll do like another video later on. Going more in detail and stuff like that. But at the same time, one of my good friends is playing Infernobles as well, but he's going to try the PK package. And at the end of the night, hopefully I'll be able to get a point of view or a general idea from him, what he thought of it, So with that being said, I just got done mowing my yard. Down here in the middle of the Midwest, we can just drive our lawnmowers on the road and get away with it. So with that being said, guys, there's not really much more to talk about. I want to quickly jump into detail on the Draccosack variant and what it does for the most part.
Okay guys, here we go. This is kind of the standard 2-card combo that gets you to the power tool Draccosack stuff. Now this is just kind of crazy if you ask me. Like, the amount of like ceiling behind these 2 cards is, I think, a lot more than some of like the other combo builds. Even like my previous build, 2 warriors got you to like a Charles, Savage, Dweller or something in those forms, but then Charles didn't have a pop. But this right here is going to get you to like Charles, Herald, Savage, and Charles has a pop. It's kind of crazy. But for the most part, any 2 warriors get you there. So special 1 warrior, special the other. Go ahead and link off here for Isolde. Isolde's effect on summon is going to add you any warrior you want. We'll just go and add Gearfried here. Go ahead and use Isolde's effect, paying the cost of sending 2 to summon out Gimba. Now there are different combo routes I guess you could potentially go. If you do open Coltwing and you do have a tuner extender in your hand, you summon Dolphin, pitch, go like that route. But like this list combos very differently than the previous list that I've been playing for the past few months. So like this list definitely has, it has definitely a learning curve to it. If this case, if you have a tuner extender, you summon Dolphin, look at the opponent's hand, you combo the same way the previous build did, under with a Dolphin out with the extra body out there, which is not too hard to do, but you still end on the same 3 disruption board that you're able to put out naturally. But so then these guys right here go off into Halky Fibrax. We all know what Halk does. Brings out Despot. And then, as you know, Despot and Halk become Auroradon. Auroradon gives us 3 level 3 tokens. You guys should be familiar by this by now. And then, of course, Despot triggers. Get rid of the tokens here. And you make your first power tool. And then, of course, I messed it up here. Your first power tool is going to add you any equip spell that you really want. So we're going to actually add ourselves DDR. We're then going to use Auroradon's effect, tribute these 2 off to be able to summon out, there we go, Coltwing. Getting a little messed up here. Coltwing's effect, you get 2 tokens, summon out Despot, and then you make your second power tool. This power tool here adds you Durandal. And the reason I'm doing this is because we play 3 Durandal, 3 DDR in this list, so as long as you don't open one, you should be okay to get it off. And then these guys overlay here, because Coltwing is treated as a level 7, into the Mecha Phantom Beast Draccosack. Here, you detach here, summoning 2 tokens, bringing back out Despot. So when Despot joins the party here, for a 3rd time, I believe, 3rd time, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make Balmug here. Going to use the Mecha Phantom Beast Draccosack's effect, attributing a token to destroy Balmug. Balmug is then going to summon out Coltwing. Coltwing is going to get its effect, bringing out 2, and then here comes Despot. So now you do kind of have like some leeway to do some things, kind of. There's a lot of different things you can do. The extra deck could definitely be changed, but for the most part, you're going to go ahead and turn this right here into a Herald. So there we go, Herald is right here. You then can go ahead and banish Gimba and Red Layer, or whatever war you have. Just make sure Gimba is one of them. Add the Phoenix Blade. Go ahead and go DDR, pitching here. Summon back out the Gimba. And then synchro off Gimba and the token for Roland. Activate Roland's effect. Don't forget to activate Roland's effect. And then there's a lot of different things we can do per se. We can potentially go ahead and if you play 2 Heralds, you could actually make 2 Heralds and a Charles. And that's kind of like what I want to do is play 2 Heralds, but I'd have to cut cards like an access code to do so. And access code is just so good, but we'll just see moving forward. Go ahead and use Dirndl. Dirndl is going to add you Renaud, I believe. And I didn't stack Renaud. Shame on me. Go ahead and add Renaud. Special Renaud. Add back the DDR. You go here for Savage. Savage grabs the Auroradon, giving it 3. And then you go ahead and you always have Balmug engraved. You banish Balmug and you banish another warrior for the Divine Sword. You then go DDR, pitching the Divine Sword to bring back out Balmug. And then these guys make a 9. So just like that, we have our full board right here. And the reason you want to leave this token out is because I believe if there's a token out, you can't target or destroy Draccosack. Yes, while you control a token, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So that's why you kind of want to keep this out. So it kind of gives you like a double pseudo lock in a way, you know? So like, but that is it for the 2 card. This guy stays here. If you do play 2 Heralds, you could definitely use the Renaud and this to make a second Herald, and then you just use Coltwing and Roland to make a Charles, so then you have double Herald. But I feel like this is a little bit better, simply because it provides the protection for the Draccosack, because Draccosack's going to be able to do something the next turn, solve a card, and then on top of that, you're going to be able to have a Savage, which applies a lot of pressure, because like since we're not playing, since the list of extra deck has had to change, you don't play like the stepstones to get to a full power access code, which is part of the reason why I kind of want to cut into access code. So right here, you already have like, you're going to have 4,000, 3,000. Gearfried's going to smack down next turn, but we're also getting the follow-up with a extra Renaud getting added to our hand by Roland. And then you just switch Draccosack, which is a total of a 2,600 boss monster. That's unaffected. Then like you could use the effect to tribute a token to solve a card. Charles will pop cards. So it's almost like you don't need access code anymore, and you could play the double Herald, especially in some matchups. Some matchups, double Herald is better because, you know, the Macrocosmo-like effect can easily be solved. So it puts them on having like 2 ways to solve Herald. But anyway, that is it for the standard 2 card combo, guys. Now, of course, this right here can change. I'll probably do a whole different video moving forward in the coming weeks to show you guys like what you can do with this variant, like how to combo with the Coltwing, how to combo with Aqua Dolphin and stuff like that. But this is it. This is what I want to show you guys. So yeah, we're gonna check you guys out in the next clip.
What's good, guys, and welcome back right after locals. So I'm gonna give you guys my breakdown, my record, and we'll just go from there. So yeah, it was kind of rough. I didn't get as much B-roll as I wanted, but you know, heat of the moment. We had quite a few players. I think we had 18 players or something like that. Pretty big for my local area. And I ended up going 2-1-1. That means 2 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. And you'll never believe what my loss was, but we'll get into that. So my round 1 was Paleozoic full combo, guys. Like the Draccosack combo is so like major. Like I comboed off 2 cards and I had like 3 or 4 cards left in my hand at the end of the combo. Like that's insane. So much bang for your buck when you're comboing, right? Game 2, he went first. I drew into Twin Twisters and then Harpy's Feather Dusters. So then I just, it was over from there. He sets 5, keeps 1 card in his hand. I was like, cool, Harpies. And I was expecting like there'd be Imperial Order or something change, and it doesn't happen. So then I just go full combo. And then the next round was, I believe, my draw, which was Phantom Knights. I ended up playing against Phantom Knights, and that deck is crazy. Like, I actually believe that deck, along with like Infernobles as well, is like one or two of the best like tier 3, maybe almost tier 2 decks out there. The deck is just really good, and it's, you know, like, I'm not a fan of the Dragoon package, but the man plays Dragoons. I like the Dark Requiem XYZ package. Like, it makes the deck feel a little bit more unique, but I understand why you play Dragoon in that strategy. But for the most part, he wins the dice roll, he goes first, and one of the most I will definitely have to, I'll make a video about it because it just shows the power of both decks. The game one was phenomenal. He sets up his full board of Dragoon, Fogblade, and then the, droplets, he had droplets as well, and the F-Zero, yeah, F-Zero, the one that negates and takes, and I was able to break that board, establish a board, and then I just, at the end of the day, you know, Zeus is a card, so no matter what strategy I went, I was not going to be able to solve the Zeus that was going to be able to come. But I ended up like clapping back, playing through 4 negates, guys. 4 of them things. And you guys will see that in an upcoming video where I highlight that and go into detail on just pretty much technical play and like trying to understand like the interactions your opponent has and stuff like that, etc. So he ended up being my draw. He takes game 1. Game 1 took forever because not only did he take his time to combo, I had to combo and like play around his board, which took time. And then, you know, like, but it was really much up in the air, you know, like, we didn't know who was going to get game 1. Game 2, there was like 3 minutes on the clock, so I go my combo. I end up making Gearfried and Charles, and then I make, what's it called? Riser Dragon. Riser's sole purpose of the combo was to dump Dolphin. I DDR back the Dolphin, burn him for 5, and then I know it's a crappy way to win, but I mean, like, we have the Dolphin, we have Dolphin, so we got to utilize it when time is coming. His turn comes around, he is down in life. In theory, he had a way to be able to practically win. He just had to make Verte and then make Dragoon and then pop and burn me. However, he miscalculated. He did his combo. He sent the Burning Abyss cards when he should have sent, I think it was Torn Scales, and he just awfully miscalculated. He did Kaiju the Charles, so he just had to play around the 1 negate off of Gearfried. But the only thing that Gearfried was going to negate was that damn snake, and he just had no way to bait the Gearfried prior to getting to the snake. So we ended up having a draw there. The next game I ended up playing against Bears, or Sartic. Now this was interesting. I win the dice roll, I go first. I finally see 3 Quips, Despot, and Coltwing, 0 warriors, so I have to pass it over to him. He doesn't kill me, but that, you know, the Ursartic Septarian, you know, that says if you play XYZs or Links, they're negated. And Isolde's a link, Auroradon's a link. Yeah, so it was practically all that they wrote. Game 2, I just, again, off of 2 cards, I go normal summon connector, see the hand, see no hand trap, so I just go crazy, do my full combo, and I end up having so much gas in hand from having the additional 3 cards in my hand that I end up looping him for 2 off of the Dolphin. So I get him 1 with Dolphin, no, I get him 2 with Dolphin, 1 with Omega, and then he draws, and he's like, next game. Next game, he goes first, and I Dark Ruler no more him, but if you guys are not familiar with Ars Arctics, they have the ability to activate from the hand. So he actually had the Ursartic Mega Belis, or Ursartic Mega, I just call it the bear, the bow is what it is. It's just the big giant bear shooting a bow, and that's a Book of Moon. So not only did he conduct all these summons, and then I ended up playing into a 7th summon off of Big Dipper. Big Dipper took my monster, and then when I finally was able to commit, thinking I had it done, because I had Dark Ruler, the Septarian was not going to stop my effects or anything like that, he reveals the Mega Beetle, or whatever it was from hand, the bow, and he Book of Moons my normal summon. Wow. And it was just rough after that. I just conceded because, you know, I just couldn't play through it. He had damage on board. Big Dipper's a crazy card. The deck is actually quite nuts. I've had the deck picked up for a while, trying to figure out what I want to do with it, and seeing his build. And of course, if you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. I posted the video, I think yesterday, which is Saturday, posted that, so go check it out. It is crazy. And then final round was the Infernoble mirror match, and I ended up winning the dice roll. Pretty easy. Game 2, my man, he was playing the Phantom Knight version, which of course to give you guys his feedback to it, he wanted me to tell you that making Apollosa is crazy, but it's not the end all be all. For a lot of times it required a little bit more bricks in the deck, you know, a little bit more awkward play, but there were some interesting concepts that come from the Phantom Knights. He hasn't tested enough to give a more definitive answer of whether it's good or bad, and we'll probably get that when we go to the Ghost tournament this weekend. But I ended up playing against him. Game 1, I opened the full stones. He had nothing to stop me. He was not main decking Dark Ruler no more, so I really had no fear. I started picking apart his hand too, Dolphin being able to just get around, like, you know, I knew how good Infernobles are, and if he had a good enough hand, which he did, he could have broke my board. So then I just started to Dolphin him twice, get rid of cards, and then just knew that I had to negate Hulk. After that, the next game he went first. The poor guy got so tunnel vision in a way. He told me he went to go Auroradon to tribute. He told me what he was going to tribute. He told himself what he was going to tribute. Then he tributed the wrong thing, and then he ended up with no space to combo off. And it was just, that's all she wrote. He was like, I don't know how I did that. He's like, I said what I was going to do, and I did differently. And I was like, hey, you know, this deck is very complex when it comes to that type of stuff, so it will happen. But yeah, we ended up taking 2-1-1. We got 6th place. Top 8 got prizing. I got 6th. It was pretty fire, not gonna lie. It was a good tournament, good testing. Like I said, the only deck I lost to was First Arctics, which I would believe has a good matchup against the deck anyway, simply because of the interaction it has. Like, all the bears can activate from the hand, so like, even if you think about it, like, you go first, and as soon as I summon Despot, you just use the bear in hand to Book of Moon the Despot, my turn ends. So like, in theory, like, the deck has just a very good matchup, and then the Septirion being able to negate everything, quite crazy. But other than that, it was a good testing. Not much more can be said about it. Pretty happy with my results. Pretty happy with the testing that I got. I didn't get as good meta testing as I wanted. I wanted to play Drytron, but the Drytron guy wasn't there. The Phantom Knight matchup, though, I will talk about is Metal Silver Armor carries that, hands down. Metal Silver Armor pretty much is an auto win against that deck, and it's just, it's really good. But anyway, I'm gonna jump into the quick deck profile for you guys. If you guys want more in-detail stuff, stay tuned. I will upload a more updated, but this is gonna be a quick layout and some minor discussions about it, so let's go ahead and jump on into it.
Okay guys, we're gonna jump in real quick to the deck profile. Like I said, not too much in detail. That will be done for a later video, showing you an update of the list. Still testing, but this is what I played this weekend and some of the highlights and some of the takes from that. So we'll go ahead and jump into it. Again, huge shout out to Konami. These deck boxes are beautiful. My locals had them and stuff like that. This is probably gonna be my this is probably my favorite deck box, actually, to be 100% honest with you. Favorite deck box. And yeah, so right guys, we'll just jump right into the list. Like I said, not too much in detail, but enough for you to understand. Triple Renaud, there's a reason this card is 30 bucks. This card is phenomenal. Plays through almost any disruption. It's one of the best extenders you have in the deck. Triple Oliver, again, one of the best extenders you have. This is what allows you to play through hand traps. This is what allows you to play through your Isolde getting disrupted. This is what allows you to practically summon Dolphin off of Isolde to be able to look at the hand when you don't open Connector. One Oliver, one Astolfo. Konami did us dirty. I don't care what anyone says. Should have been Prismatic, should have been Super. This card is a better Flint Lady, in my opinion. Being able to manipulate levels doesn't come up often, but can come up in some niche scenarios, of course. So, do recommend playing Astolfo. And that is it for the Infernobles. Maybe one day we will get better Infernobles. I do know that some lore-wise that we have a Matter of Britain, which is the OG Infernoble Knights, and we have a Matter of France, which is the Infernoble Knights. So we should be due for a Matter of Rome, which Konami only knows what they'll make those eventually. But that is it for the Noble Knights. Moving on to just Fire Warriors. The best one in the deck is Red Layer. Again, one of the best things you can do is Red Layer, normal summon Oliver, hard make Charles, start baiting stuff, baiting negates. It's pretty good, actually. Double Flint Lady. I have bounced around with this idea of playing 2, or playing 3, but I think 2 is correct. I think 2 is the absolute correct number. It is a hard once per turn to use the effect of summon, so you don't want to open multiples of it. Whereas Red Layer is different. Red Layer, you can just special. They solve it. It leaves the field. You can special another one. There's like no restriction to this card being able to special summon itself, except for controlling no monsters. And then, like I said, I do think 2 Flint's correct. Double Gearfried, not much can be said here. Gearfried is phenomenal. You can like win an entire game just off of the back of Gearfried. It's just in simplified Yu-Gi-Oh, this card is phenomenal. It solves Dragoons, it solves F-Zero, it's just crazy. I've been playing with the idea and toying with the idea of playing just 1 to like fit in more extenders. I did want to test out Blue Mountain Butter Spree, because there was a lot of times in testing prior locals where my Connector was getting hand trapped, and Connector was like the only warrior I had. Whereas if I had Blue Mountain Butter Spree, I would not only be able to chain block the Connector, but I'd 100% for sure resolve getting out Dolphin to look at the hand, and that's really what I wanted to do. But just toying with that idea kindly right now. But yep, 2 Gearfried. The best tuner, I think, I was watching like old Infernoble videos, and people were playing like TG Striker and stuff. Kimba's just the best level 2 tuner you gotta play. This card just helps facilitate Roland. It's a Fire Warrior, so worst case scenario, this plus Roland, or no, excuse me, this plus Renaud is combo. You just really gotta play it. And especially in this variant where you're sending 2 to summon it, so like it just works better with the Draccosack combo, which just, I like it better. For non-Fire Warriors, right here. And you know what, guys? I preach the reason why I don't like the Phantom Knight, why I don't like Armageddon, and this card right here proves it a lot. There was so many times where I've just opened like connector and Renaud, right? And then they ash my Renaud, like ash my connector because you're gonna lose it anyway, right? And Renaud doesn't work with this because it's a light. So like, if it happens in the little percent chance it happens with these 4 cards here, it's gonna happen more when you don't play Fire Warriors. So just my 2 cents from it. Again, best normal summon. If this card ever gets answered, I do kind of look forward to playing Sublimation Knight because it does fit the theme of the deck. But as long as you have Connector and Dolphin, 1 card is old. It's actually crazy. This is a 1-card combo for the deck. And I just told you guys, like, the Draccosack combo, 2 Warriors gets you to, like, your full board, which is insane. For the bricks of the deck, Despot and Coldwing, I will be doing updated combo videos simply because this deck combos very differently if you do open Coldwing. The concept is still the same. You want to get it to the graveyard either by pitching it with Dolphin or by using DDR, but the combo line is totally different, and it's pretty interesting. This card still is a pseudo brick. You don't want to see it, but if you do see it, it's not the end of the world because Hulk does summon from the hand. Moving on, we are rocking Triple Chalice. Rhoda of the entire deck. Search out any Infernoble or any Noble Knight, Noble Arms. So you use this to search Durandal. I was toying with the idea of playing Gallatin in the side deck, just simply because in the later games you can search Gallatin, and Gallatin can allow you to get really big. We do have it add an extra player at our locals, and sometimes, guys, like a 4,000 arrival is hard to beat in the deck, so by having the ability to search out Gallatin and having access to Phoenix Blade, being able to make your Gearfried or your Charles become 43 to attack over that guy, it does come up, so I've been toying with that idea, but this card is just crazy. Triple Durandal. Awesome. I mean, this card wrote another Rhoda, essentially, for the deck. And the fact that this card can equip to, like, your opponent's cards, pretty crazy. Now to the changes of the deck, really. 3 DDR. I know I've toyed with this, but since you are playing double power tool, you need to have 3 equips live at all time. And I do think this is the correct ratio. I don't think you play Living Fossil over this, since this card is not a hard once per turn. As long as you practically get Phoenix Blade to the graveyard, you're able to abuse and use this card a lot. And I think this card is just correct. I think Living Fossil, if you open 2 DDRs, you'll love to see it with your full combo. But if you open like 2 Living Fossils, it's just a dead. One of them is a dead card in your hand. You do not want that. But yeah, 3 DDR, it's mandatory. You reveal 3 off of Power Tool, and then 1 Living Fossil for like when you do reveal 3 of these, and then they give you 1, you reveal these 3 again, and you're going to get no matter what you want. So it's just it's pretty nice. It's rigged gambling in a way if you think about it, but. That is it for the revival equips. 1 Phoenix Blade and 1 Metal Silver. I really do not know how people do not play with this card. This card is just so phenomenal. Like, yeah, there might be some instances where it doesn't work, like a deck doesn't target a lock, but there's going to be something in that deck, whether it be extra deck, main deck, that targets a card. Everybody's playing Imperm targets. Metal Silver is just phenomenal, especially when you look at the opponent's hand and you see that they have Imperm. You just smack this onto a random extender, making it to where Imperm has to target that extender, and you just combo under that extender until you can put up a safe negate to be able to stop the Imperm they have. This card is phenomenal. I don't understand how people do not play with this without this card. Watching some Infernoble players put up their boards and in phase they give themselves Durandal, I think is so weak because it's just awful. Smack on Metal Silver. It's not a brick. I don't care what anyone says. You play technically Phoenix Blade is a brick. This card's a brick. If it can be pitched off Oliver, it's not a brick. I'm still on 3 Dark Ruler, and I was going to get triple Tactics, and I just think that Dark Ruler still, currently, especially with Sword Soul and the Flunderies cards coming up, I think that Dark Ruler will still be better because Tactics does not solve every monster on the board. Tactics can only solve 1 negate, pretty much. Tactics only shines when you're going first and they hand trap you, so then you get that draw 2, the look at the hand, which I do not disagree. That card fits this deck so well, but I do not think it's worth it. I would rather, because you're not guaranteed to win the dice rolls, so I'm just going in with the mentality that I'm going to lose my dice rolls, so then Tactics just doesn't shine with that mentality, whereas Dark Ruler does. You top deck Dark Ruler, you shut off everything, you can play through 1 to 2 interruptions through the hand, and sometimes you're just going to rip them out anyway, so it is okay. I think Dark Ruler is way better than Tactics in this deck. Currently, maybe when the format slows down and there's not so heavy combo, I know Sword Soul's coming, and the birds are coming, and then the other birds are coming, the Flow Wonder's coming. You just need something to solve every monster, and sad to say that Tactics does not do that. So that's why I still opted to play Dark Ruler, and I did not regret it. Against Ursartic, it really came in clutch because, again, Tactics, given in that same scenario, I could have baited Septirion with Tactics, but this card just said no and shut it off completely, which was okay. For the Holy Trinity, these 3 cards right here. 4th copy. 4th, it's your extra copy of any warrior in the deck that's not red layer. Called by the Grave. If I can get sacked by one-ofs, I can sack my opponent with one-ofs. And then Monster Reborn, again, just a sacky one-of that lets you just plow through interruptions, which is what you want to do. Now this card can be anything you want, but I am still on the one Kitty Twister because Imperial Order, Mystic Mine, like you just name it, man. You don't want to lose to those type of sacky blowout cards, and you just want to have like a one deck way to, like a 1 card in your deck to win. So if my opponent pops Mystic Mine, I don't have to scoop it up because I don't main deck any out. So there's still hope for me to draw Twin Twisters. And yeah, this inspiration was taken from Pac when he played Prank Kids. This card's chainable, whereas like Harpy's Feather Duster is not, and you want to have that ability to chain this card to problematic floodgates instead of just being like Harpies and then chain Imperial Order and you just lose. So you practically wait for the opponent to fire off Imperial Order, then you just chain Twin Twisters and just get rid of it. But that's the main deck, guys. We're taking a little bit too much time than what I want to spend on the deck. So let's just quickly run through the extra deck. We're still on 2 Isolde, 2 Tells. I think this is, you have to play 2. You just got to. You can't get away with playing any less, I believe. 1 Hulk, 1 Rorodon, the backbone of the entire combo right here. Access code. You still can make it following up in like the weaker hand. I wouldn't say the weaker hands that you don't go full combo into Draccosack, you still end on a Rorodon, so it just gives you an easy follow-up up here. And then the amount of resources you have just have the ability to, if you resolve a second Isolde, you can make access code. He won't become 53, he'll become 43, but you normally have Gearfried and Charles out, and they're always going to be like, they're not going to be 6,000, they're going to be like 60, they're going to be like 35, 32, 33, etc. So you have damage even though we can't climb up into Unicorn anymore, but I do miss that. I miss the stepping stones up into Unicorn for going second, but anyway, that's it for the links. For the Synchros, Charles and Roland, I would not play this deck if these 2 cards did not exist, so no money to say, like the ability to equip and pop is just crazy. Double Power Tool, this is actually pretty, this is like how you make Mega Phantom Beast Draccosack, so I don't know, I'm still testing. I do like it so far. I'm quite becoming a believer of it, but 2, you have to play 2 in the combo line to make Draccosack, so 2 is good. For the level 4s, 1 Balmug and 1 Herald. Part of the combo, you end on this quite a bit. 2 Heralds have come up, but the only like space you have to really cut for 2 Heralds is the access code talker, and it's a love-hate. Like, you don't want to lose access code, but at the end of the day, like, you have Draccosack up here when you do your full combo. You don't have the ability to make access codes, so you just have a bunch of big monsters that solve stuff. So I am bouncing with the idea to play 2 Herald, because sometimes that comes up where you can like end on double Herald and Charles. So anyway, that's it for the 4s. For the 8s, 1 Savage, 1 Omega. You make Savage quite easy, Omega as well, just be able, and also with the ability to add multiple DDRs now, you can just hand loop your opponent for tons. I've actually found myself making Omega, looping a card, bringing back the Omega, synchroning for Charles, and then putting back a card with the Omega, so that means that card never gets to be added back, so it's just kind of cool things you can do there. But that's it for the 8s. I guess for the final one is Shooting Riser. This card is still needed to manipulate levels. And the ability, there's so many like interesting technical play, which of course I want to go in now, but we're not going to. We'll say that for another video. You can use with this card, especially like if you get interrupted. You can just use Hulk to tag this out, and if they have like a level 4 out, you dump a 3 synchro for Savage on your opponent's turn. It's just really cool. And then worst case scenario, this card can still be a 7 to synchro up into. Just the level manipulation allows you to get play through awkward ways or awkward hands and stuff like that. And finally, for the card of the hour, 1 Draccosack. This card is actually a little bit busted than what I thought. I do like it. You're able to summon tokens, and then like on the follow-up, you can get more tokens and then like pop cards and stuff like that. So it does kind of, in a way, solve a little bit like an access code. But this card just facilitates more for your 2 cards than anything. You resolve Cult Wing, I think, like 1 extra time, which is really crazy. But yeah, that's it for the deck profile, guys. Like I said, I won't show my side deck. Comment down below what you guys think. Comment your guys' testing. If you guys are going to the Denver Ghost Tournament, let me know. But most importantly, guys, this is going to end the vlog. We're going to wrap it up here. Please remember to stay safe and stay healthy. This is Charles from Team COG, signing out.